Hello retouchers, so welcome to my channel once again and happy December. So in today's tutorial, I'll be showing you guys step by step on how you can create frequency separation on 16-bit image. Okay, so one of the reasons why maybe you are retouching and you are not getting the results you want is maybe you are not retouching, you are not creating frequency separation the right way. Okay, you know, to create frequency separation in 8 bits, the technique is different. And to create it in 16 bits is also different. Okay. And this image right here is on 16 bits. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys step by step on how you can create frequency separation 16 bits on 16-bit image. Okay. So I believe by now you have gotten my all-in-one retouching pack. And if you haven't downloaded it yet, you can check. The link is on the description of this tutorial. This is my all-in-one retouching pack. It contains everything you need as a retoucher and as an editor. Okay, so as you can see under this my retouching buttons, you can see frequency separation, advanced, median, 8-bit, 16-bit. Okay, if you have this my pack, you can check it out. Okay, so but in this tutorial I will show you guys how you can create it from scratch. Okay, so this is the raw of this picture. So we are going to be creating 16 bits frequency separation, then retouch this picture. Okay, so let's delete this. Let's delete this retouch on. Okay, so this is the picture raw. So to create frequency separation on 16-bit image, first you have to duplicate your layer twice. Control J or Command J. Okay, so this first layer here, they are our first duplicates. You can rename it tone, low frequency, or skin, whatever name you want to name it. For the sake of this tutorial, I will name it tone because it's all about the tone. Okay, and this up here, the second one, we name it texture or high frequency because it's all about the texture. Guys, remember, frequency separation is a technique we use in separating the tone and the texture of an image, keeping them in two separate layers so that when we are working on the tone, it will not distort the texture. Okay, so that is what we are about to do on 16-bit image here. Okay, so this layer will serve as our texture layer where we put all the textures in this image, and this tone on will serve as our tone layer. Okay, so first we have to apply blur on the tone layer. Okay, the blur will enable the tone to smooth when you are working on the tone. Okay, so we'll turn off this our texture layer, okay, to be able to see the blur when we are applying it on the tone layer. Remember, the texture layer is above the tone layer, so if we didn't turn it off, it will be covering the blur. Okay, so we turn it off by clicking this eye. Okay, toggle this eye here. Okay, so with our tone layer selected, we'll go to our filter, to blur, and to Gaussian blur. Okay, so guys, this particular side is where some retouchers or editors find it difficult. Okay, so and in this particular area, it doesn't have any amount of blur. Okay, because pictures differs, megapixel differs, quality of pictures differs. Okay, so the blur you add here determines the picture you are working on. Okay, so what you will look after when adding your blur during your frequency separation is the amount of blur that you will add that will blur your image, but you still be seeing your texture. Okay, it will blur the image, but you still be seeing your texture. Let's just play along till we get to the amount that will be okay for this image. Okay, as you can see, 6 is okay for this image. 6.4 is okay. I believe 6.6, 7 will be okay also. Let's just put 7. Okay, so as you can see, we put 7 and hit okay. As you can see, 7 blurred this image, but if you zoom this image, we are still seeing our textures, but not that not that visible. Okay, so when you are blurring and you get to this level, that is where you will stop. Okay, it doesn't have any specific amount, different pictures. There are pictures that I will be working on. I will add like 14 to 15 blur to be able to get to this kind of results. Okay, and there are pictures I will be working on. I will drop like 4 or 3.0 blur to be able to get to this extent. Okay, so it doesn't really have any specific amount. It depends on the picture you are working on. Okay, so right now let's go and turn on our texture layer. Okay, we make it active again. Okay, so the next thing to do, we'll go to our image here, then we'll go to apply image. Okay, so here in apply image, this is where the different setting between 8 bits and 16 bits, this is where we make the different settings. Okay, so once this is showing you here, what you will do is to enter inside this your layer, then this merge here, you enter there and choose your tone. Guys, remember, any name that we show here is the name you rename your low frequency, that is your tone, during the creation of the layers. Okay, remember, I name it tone. So you will select the low frequency layer. The name that we show here is the name that you named it. Okay, so your channel will be on RGB. Okay, then here in your blending mode, you will change it to add. Okay, so then your scale will be on 2. Okay, then your offset will be on 0. Okay, then you click on this invert here, click on invert, then you will get this result. It will show that like this. Okay, so once you get this result this way, you click OK. Okay, as you can see. So now the next thing to do again here is to change the blending mode here to linear light to bring it to normal this way. Okay, so guys, we have achieved our frequency separation on 16-bit image now. Okay, this is how you set it when you are working on 16-bit image. Okay, so the next thing to do, we are going to be duplicating the texture layer and the tone layer, and I will tell you the reason why we need to duplicate it. Okay, so first let's duplicate the tone layer, Ctrl J or Command J. Okay, so once you duplicate it, you hold your alternative on your keyboard, then take your cursor in between the copy and the main layer. You will see your cursor will change to arrow, then you click it to clip the two layers together. Okay, and you can as well right click the copy of the layer, then go to create clip mask. Okay, to clip it together. Okay, then same thing we do on this layer, we duplicate, Ctrl J. Guys, do you notice something? Let me zoom this image, undo. So this is this image. Then when we duplicate it, Ctrl J or Command J, you will notice that this image becomes more sharper. Okay, that is because all the textures on this image is on this layer, this texture layer now, and duplicating the layer is equal to duplicating the texture, so it will become more sharper. Okay, so and also when we clip it together, it will become more sharper again. For example, to click it, you right click to clip it together, right click and create clipping mask. Okay, as you can see, it becomes more sharper again. Okay, so the next thing you will do is to this copy to change the blending mode to normal. Okay, so this is it. Okay, now once you achieve your frequency separation 16-bit like this, you have achieved it. But there is still one thing you need to do, because you know there are many ways to work on frequency separation using mixer brush. Okay, so some people work on tone, that's low tone, while some people work on an empty layer. Okay, so I work on the both. Okay, so let's go and create the empty layer in between this texture and the tone. Okay, so to create an empty layer, you click on this empty layer icon here. Okay, to create an empty layer here. Okay, we can name it correction or anything you decide to name it. Okay, so I will explain to you how you can work with this empty layer and how you can work with the tone here. Okay, so once you achieve this, there is still another thing you need to do. Some people work, do frequency separation, turning on black and making it black and white. They see the blemishes and textures easier that way. So, and don't forget to create it, most especially if you are a beginner watching this tutorial. We advise you to create your layers this way, so that the reason why you need to create your layers this way, if you are working on this tone and you make a mistake, you can easily delete this copy and start with this instead of taking the process all over again. Okay, same way goes with the texture. Okay, so now let's add black and white adjustment above this texture. So we go to black and white adjustments here, create it here. Okay, so we drive this thread to make it more darker this way. Okay, so we hide it here, then we can name this gray or whatever thing you want to name it. Okay, so turn it off first. So now we have achieved our frequency separation on 16 bits. So the next thing to do is to group these layers together. Okay, so you select the first layer there, hold your shift and click on the last layer to highlight everything together, then Ctrl G to group it. Then we can name this FX, which is frequency separation. Okay, so this is how you create your frequency separation on 16 bits image. Okay, so what we do next is to work on this image right here. Okay, we are going to be retouching this image using this 16 bits frequency separation. Okay, so now let's pick our mixer brush. Okay, so this is our mixer brush tool. If you're a beginner here, once you pick your mixer brush tool, the next thing you check, you enter inside your brush here, make sure you are on soft round brush. Okay, so you click enter, then you enter inside this brush icon here, brush setting here. Make sure your smoothing texture and the protect texture is active. Okay, so always make sure that it's active. Then you click enter. Okay, so here your this first brush here, you will deactivate it and activate the second brush here. Okay, you keep it on custom. Okay, so your weight here, as a beginner, I will advise you to put your weight here on 30. Put your load on 30. Your mix can be 0 or 100. Mix doesn't matter. Okay, your flow on 30. The reason why you need to do this is that when you are brushing your image, when you are painting your image, you will not spoil your image. Okay, because the more you increase these settings here, the more your brush will be flowing and you might not be able to control the flow of the brush. Okay, so that's the reason why you need to keep it accurate, medium, the way you can control. Okay, but I'm using 60, 60, 100, 60. You can as well try my settings if it will work for you. Okay, so the next thing to do here is to work on this picture right here. Okay, so there are different ways to work on frequency separation. Okay, if you are working on correction, that's the empty layer there, you will turn on this your sample all layers above here, you make it active. Okay, then you will turn off your texture, making the picture looks blurred this way. Then you start brushing. Okay, if you didn't do it this way, you can't work on the correction. You know, working on this correction is also a professional way to do frequency separation. Okay, it's also a professional way. Okay, it depends on what how you do it that will make it faster for you, the easier way for you. Okay, so if we turn on this texture again, you will notice that we have the changes here. Okay, let's just say before after. You can see before after. Okay, so that is how you work on correction. If you must use correction, you will turn on your sample all layers and turn off this texture while brushing. Okay, so but for the sake of this tutorial, we are not using correction to work on this picture. we'll be using the tone. Okay, so I make the tone active. Let's turn off this correction. Okay, so now the tone is active. Okay, and if you are using the tone, you will deactivate this your sample all layers. Okay, because if you didn't deactivate sample all layers, this is what you will get. Once you brush, this is what you will get. Okay, so and you don't want that, so you deactivate the sample all layers. Okay, so right now we start mixing this skin right now. Okay, and to mix this skin, I will show you how you can brush and how not to brush. Okay, so let me show you something. When you are working, let's use our brush. When you are working on frequency separation, when you are brushing, make sure you don't brush the highlights, those highlight side of your image. Make sure you don't brush them to the shadow side of the image. Okay, let me show you. Make sure you don't brush this way. This is the highlights. Make sure you don't brush this way. You see, if you brush this way, you have spoiled your image because you are taking the highlight to the shadow and it's spoiling the image. You don't brush this way. Okay, and when you are brushing, you will brush according to the you will brush according to the shape of the face. Okay, so and also you don't brush the shadow to the highlights. Okay, so this is how you brush when you are brushing. This is how you brush. You brush this way, you brush this way, you brush this way according to the shape of the face. You brush this way, you brush this way, you follow the structure of the face. This way, as you can see, the face is round. So when you are brushing this, the face, the round face, you brush this way. Okay, you brush this way. Okay, so this is how you brush when you are brushing. You follow the shape of the body. Okay, you brush this way. Okay, so let's retouch this image right now. Okay, so I'll pick our mixer brush, then we start mixing the skin. So guys, when you are retouching your image, you don't need to be in a hurry to do your frequency separation. Take your time. You don't actually need to be in a hurry to do retouching. As you're watching this tutorial, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Okay, as you can see, based on how the face is, I have to brush this way, the shape of the face. Okay, let's check what we have achieved. So this is before, this is after. As you can see, the face is getting smooth. Guys, if you haven't purchased my all-in-one retouching pack here, The link is on the description. You can go and check it out. You don't actually need to do all this process ahead every single time you want to retouch. Okay, that's why you need a preset so that to make your work easier and faster. Okay. Okay, guys, let's check what we have achieved so far. Before, after, before, after. Okay, so let's mix the skin a little more. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, guys, we are done mixing this image. I think we'll leave this image this way. We'll leave this image this way. When you are retouching, please try everything possible to leave your image as natural as possible. Okay, so the next thing to do in this image right here is to pick some of these stubborn spots on her face and some wrinkles and blemishes that you don't want on her body, to pick it out. Okay, so and to do that, you make your texture layer active. Remember, when creating this frequency separation, we move everything texture to one layer. Okay, so we are done working on the tone, which is on the one layer. So now we work on the texture. So we make the texture layer active, then we pick our clone stamp tool here. Okay, opacity will be on 100 up here, flow will be on 100 up here, it will be on soft round brush. Okay, so now with alternative click and left click the mouse, you pick from the good side close to the spot, then paint on the spot to remove it. Okay, so this is nice. Okay, so this is our frequency separation before after. Okay, so the next thing to do right here is to arrange this hair. Okay, let's work on the hair. Okay, so and to do that, I will create an invisible layer. Okay, so to create an invisible layer, you click shift control alternative E. Okay, so this is the invisible layer right here. Okay, so now we pick our clone stamp tool. Okay, then let's start cloning this, patching it. Okay, so same way, you with your alternative click, you pick the hair and patch all those holes. Okay, let's patch the holes. Guys, remember, retouching hair will take you time, so you really need to take your time when retouching your hair. Okay, mostly afro hair like this. Okay, so let's remove things that we don't want on the hair. Okay, so let's take this image to Lookify. Okay, and reshape the hair. Okay, so look, we are using forward warp tool here. Okay, so let's push here in a little, then push here out a little. Okay, guys, when you're working on such hair like this, you really need to take your time to do it because you are trying to put it in round shape. Okay, you really need to take your time to do it. I made a full tutorial video on how I do hair retouching. You can check it out on my channel. Okay, okay, let's check before after, before after. Okay, so let's fix it more. Okay, so we click OK. Okay, so the next thing to do right here, as you can see, before after, before after. So the next thing to do right here, we do dodge and burn on this hair, then we fix the hairline. Yeah, first before we do the dodge and burn, let's fix this hairline. Okay, so let's duplicate this copy, Control J or Command J, or you drag it to this new layer copy to make a copy of it. Okay, so let's pick our pen tool. This is our pen tool here. Okay, you take your time and give the hair boundary where you want it to end. Okay, so we take our path selection to Abby. No, sorry, not path selection to direct selection to. Okay, so we are using this direct selection to fix the part of this pen tool accurate the way we want it to be. That's in case if you didn't select it accurate. Okay, so right now we right click using our pen tool again, make a selection. So here I will put fader 9. Okay, so the selection is there. So I pick my clone stamp tool again, drop the opacity a little, then I fix the front hair here. Let's check. Okay, so let's bring it back and add more. Control D. Okay, nice. Okay, so this is nice. So let's fix, let's arrange here more. So guys, if you've watched this tutorial to this part, you are a pro. You are a pro. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't do so. Subscribe to my channel, okay? This is the new channel, so I'm still growing the channel. Please, I need your support to take this channel to another level. Okay, let's increase the opacity a little. Okay, so this is before and this is after. Before, after. Okay, so let's merge it together. Okay, so right here I would love to do dodge and burn on this hair. Okay, so this video is getting more longer. Okay, so I won't be doing the dodge and burn from scratch. Okay, so I will be using the dodge and burn presets on this my all-in-one preset. As you can see, this is dodge and burn button. Under the button you get different dodge and burn here. Okay, so I'm using the first one, which is the dodge and burn curve. Okay, okay, nice. So let's let's dodge this. I'm putting my opacity on 7. Let's dodge this. Okay, okay, nice, nice. So let me merge it together with the hair layer also. So the next thing to do right here on this image is to whiten the eyes, whiten the teeth, work on the lips with my lipstick. Then we move to the skin toning. Okay, so to whiten the eyes, I'll be making use of my first. I will start with the eyes doctor here. This is my pack. Under the eyes retouch button, you will see eyes doctor. So I click on the eyes doctor. So I will carefully paint on the white side of the eyes. Okay, my opacity and my flow will be on 100. So I paint on the white side of the eyes. Okay, so the next thing to do is to use my eyes retouch. Okay, because I want the eyes to be glittering. Okay, okay, so the eyes retouch has finished loading. So I paint on the eyes to be glittering. Okay, so this is nice. Okay, so what I will do next is I will whiten the teeth. Okay, so I move to the matte retouch button, then I move to toothbrush and click on the toothbrush. Okay, if you haven't purchased this my pack, this is all you need for your retouching. Okay, it contains everything you need. Okay, so now I want to change our lips, so I'll go to my lipstick pack. I'll go to my lipstick pack, click on it, then allow it to load. Okay, it has finished loading. So as you can see, this is a lipstick pack here. So let me check this pack contains all colors of lipstick here. So let me check the sepia. Okay, and check what the sepia. You just click on the mask here, then pick your mixer brush and paint on the lips. So this is the sepia. Okay, it's nice, but I don't like it on this image. So let me use the nude. Okay, so you take your time and paint it on the lips. Okay, nice one. I like the nude. Okay, so let me just drop the opacity a little. Okay, yeah, the nude is nice. Okay, so about this that she apply on her eyes, I would love to do something there. Let me use Tango and do something there. Let me drop the opacity. Remember, this lipstick pack, you can still use it for all these things on their eyes. You can as well use it. Okay, so as you can see the results. So you can drop the opacity if it's much. Okay, so now the next thing to do here, I will create and another invisible layer. Okay, shift control alternative E. Okay, so right now I will skin tone this image. Okay, so let me first of all, I want to make use of my deep brown skin tone. Let me check as the deep browns will be. Okay, guys, this is what the deep browns gives us. This is sweet on this image, but you can as well drop the opacity. Okay, this is sweet on this image, but I don't want this on this image. Okay, so let me delete it. Then let me check new choco. Okay, so guys, if you need this skin tones, the link is on the description as well. So this new choco is still nice, but I don't want it on this image. Okay, so I will as well delete it. So let me use my all-in-one pack contains skin tone also. So let me use the skin tone there, which is this, the first dark skin tone there. Okay, guys. So this skin tone, you can use your brush to paint on the skin tone to add chocolate on the skin. Okay, as you can see, let's finish our painting, then we'll see what we have achieved, if we will go with this skin tone or not. I have a lot of skin tones. So first, let's check how the skin tone is. It's not bad, but I don't want it, so let me delete it. I need something dark. Okay, I need something dark, so let me use this, my first dark skin tone here. Okay, nice. Guys, we'll be working with this. Okay, so let's group the skin tone. Control G. So as you can see, before, after, so you can as well drop the opacity a little, and you can as well add your selective color. You can add the red there to give it a little chocolate this way, so it won't be that dark. Okay, so you can drop the opacity more here. Okay, so guys, we didn't do dodge and burn on this image, or it's fine. Okay, it's not all image that you will do dodge and burn on. Okay, so this is nice. Okay, so let's merge everything together. Control E. Okay, so this is the before and this is the after. Before, after. As you can see, guys, this is nice. So guys, if you watch this video to this point, you are a pro. Okay, you watch the how to create frequency separation on 16 bits, you watch the retouching, you watch the hair retouching, you watch the eyes cleaning, the mouth, and the skin tone to this point. Believe me, you are a pro. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please recommend it to someone that you know that this channel might be of a help to. Okay, and if you haven't purchased my all-in-one preset, the link is on the description of this video. My Skintone links also on the description of this video. You can go and check it out to make your workflow fast, easy, and professional. Okay, I will see you guys in my next tutorial.